Good morning, students. In today's class, I will discuss about a very important phenomena or behavior that is seen in honeybees, especially the worker honeybees. In them, a behavior called kin selection is seen. Now, what is the meaning of kin selection? Kin means one's own brother and sister, and selection means to ensure that their gene or they are passed on to the next generation, that is they are selected. This type of behavior is very evident in animal kingdom as well as in humans also. We see that the self-sacrifice behavior or giving priority not to one self but to other member of the same species is seen. For example, when we see a child drowning or somebody drowning, a person without hesitation jump into the well or river where the person is drowning to save the child or the other person, not thinking about one's own self. So, this behavior where one does not think about oneself but keeps the other member of the society before oneself is called the altruistic behavior. And this type of behavior is seen in animals also. In honeybee, we see this type of behavior where the workers they let go their reproductive capacities, they let go of the fact that when they are not reproducing, their genes are not propagating. And according to natural selection theory, we know that the animals or organisms or any living thing, they want that their genes should be propagated, their type should be propagated, and for that we have seen that animals they reproduce a large number of progeny, and out of these large number of progeny, the ones who are strong, they who are able to fight the environment, the one who are able to fight the internal competition, they are successful in continuing the life, and then they are known as the ones who were fit in the environment, who were strong in the environment. And we know that survival of the fittest lead to the selection of their genes. So this behavior of natural selection contradicts with the kin selection theory, where the individuals are seen not to promote their propagation of progeny, their genes, but they leave the function or the reproduction work on the queen, and they wholeheartedly work in order to see that the queen is looked after. They work wholeheartedly to see that the larvae are fed properly, that cleanliness of the hive is maintained, that there is no attack from the predators, and they also go out facing the danger in order to procure the food for the hive. So, we can say that kin selection is a type of natural selection that consider the whole role of the role relative play when evaluating the genetic fitness of a given individual. This type of behavior is also selected by the nature. Had this nature or this behavior was not selected by the nature, then this type of behavior would have also subsided and eliminated from the gene pool. But as against the theory that survival of the fittest and origin of the species is uh, also there, but another type of natural selection known as the kin selection is also there in the nature. So this concept or this behavior is based on the concept of inclusive fitness, which is made up of individual survival and reproduction, and any impact that an individual has on the survival of the reproduction of relative. Kin selection occurs when an animal engages a self-sacrificial behavior that benefits the genetic fitness of its relative. The theory of kin selection is one of the foundation of modern study of social behavior, and W.D. Hamilton first proposed the theory in 1963 and noted that this behavior plays a role in the evolution of altruism. Altruism means self sacrifice. So, this uh, theory plays a role in the evolution of altruism, cooperation, where they help one another in order to bring success uh, for the survival of the hive or for the success for the survival of the group. So, this behavior shows the evolution of cooperation and social behavior. The term kin selection was coined in 1964 by a British biologist, J. M. Smith. The altruism is a form of behavior that benefit other individual at the expense of the one that performs the action. The fitness of altruist is diminished by its behavior, whereas individual that act selfishly benefits from it at no cost to themselves. This may be expected that the natural selection would care for the development of selfish behavior and eliminate the altruism. But this is not seen when it is noticed that the beneficiary of altruistic behavior are usually the relatives. They all carry the same gene, including the gene that promote the altruistic behavior. And this gene for altruistic behavior is a matriarchal gene provided by the mother, that is the queen. The genes are passed from direct parentage. They are also passed by assisting the reproduction of close relatives. Natural selection favors the gene that increases the reproductive success of their carrier, but it is not necessary that all individuals that share a given genotype have the higher reproductive success. It suffices that the carrier of genotype reproduce more successfully on the average than those possessing the alternative genotype. So, a gene that promotes parental altruism is favored by the natural selection if the behavior's cost to the parent is less than half of its average benefit to the progeny. Such a gene will be more likely to increase in frequency through the generation than the alternative gene. Kin selection also extend beyond the relationship between parent and their offspring. It facilitates the development of altruistic behavior when the energy invested or the risk incurred by an individual is compensated in excess by benefit ensuing to relatives. The closer the relationship between the beneficiaries and the altruist, the greater the number of beneficiary, the higher the risk and efforts warranted in the altruist. Altruist is that organism which sacrifices. Individuals that live together in a herd or troop are usually related and often behave towards each other in this way. For example, the adult zebra, for instance, will turn towards an attacking predator to protect the young in the herd rather than fleeing to protect themselves. The element of kin selection is direct fitness, and indirect fitness lead to the concept now known as the Hamilton rule. मधुमक्खी में सहोदर या बंधु चयन किन सिलेक्शन की प्रवृत्ति देखी जाती है। डार्विन के प्राकृतिक वरण यानी नेचुरल सिलेक्शन के सिद्धांत के अनुसार ऐसे जीव जो अधिक संततियाँ उत्पन्न करते हैं उद्विकास द्वारा अंततः कम संततियाँ उत्पन्न करने वाले जीवों की तुलना में अधिक सफल होते हैं। मधुमक्खी में हम देखते हैं कि समाज के कुछ सदस्य जैसे कि श्रमिक अन्य सदस्यों को योगदान देने हेतु प्रजनन करना छोड़ देते हैं। डार्विन के सिद्धांत के अनुसार यह समझना कठिन होता है कि क्यों मधुमक्खियों का ऐसा त्यागी जीवन लाखों वर्षों तक चला